Where was I? Film and TV studies is the new sociology, and education in ephemera will be out of date in 2 years' time. So how's about this for a Chomsky-esque theory? If Moses himself were to travel down from the Holy Mount today with the 10 Commandments carved in stone, the 6 o'clock news would only report on the first 3. You'd have to wait till Newsnight came out to find out what the other 7 were. Frenetically fast cut and paste soundbite culture is turning our minds into soft, moist, malleable mush. As the cuts get faster, the soundbites get smaller. But you love it, you low attention filters!
This week we've got Oriental mayhem, romance in the bush, experimental shorts, idiotic killers, and at long, long last, Jude Law's dead.
Yes, not before time, bastards.
First up, Affliction. Nick Nolte, the human workman's bench, stars as lawman Wade Whitehouse, the solitary officer in the small non-event town of Lawford. Now, Wade's life is currently in the shit. He's forced into doing odd jobs around town as bugger all actually happens. He's living out of a shitty wreck of a trailer and is in the middle of a messy divorce and custody battle over his daughter. And as if this wasn't bad enough, he's got toothache and a hunter's been mysteriously killed on the first day of the season. Oh yeah, and his mum's just died.
Jesus freaks and candy asses. Just leave it, Wade. Praise the Lord. Just leave it, Wade.
Oh,
God. Come on, girl.
If you ever touch her again, I'll kill you. I swear it.
There she blows. Affliction is Paul Schrader's paean to the emotionally crippled males of America today, who can't communicate, who can't interact with each other, who can't speak honestly and truthfully and empathically with each other about things that are really bothering them, because they are stunted little emotional dwarf creatures, you see. The story is narrated by Rolf, played by Willem Dafoe, who's Wade's younger brother, who luckily can manage to leave the binding intolerance of a small snow-covered town to seek out further education. But Wade can't do that, you see, because he's a bit thick. So he stays in the town and spirals out of control, believing in an absurd, paranoid, neurotic, Chinatown-esque theory that the town is being bought up by property developers and local businessmen for their own nefarious ends.
Things really start getting on top of Wade when he's forced into taking in his permanently pissed, constantly abusive father, played by James Coburn. His only source of comfort is in the arms of waitress Sissy Spacek and lengthy conversations with his kid brother Rolf. And his tooth still hurts. Mine's okay.
Steph, there's a gold filling in his tooth. We're rich bastards now. Rich bastards.
I guess it was an accident, like everybody thinks.
Want to know what I think happened?
Find it everywhere.
I think your first response to shooting was the correct one.
Which is?
That it wasn't an accident.
Directed by Paul Schrader, who wrote the screenplays for Taxi Driver, Raging Bull and Last Temptation of Christ, to name but a few, Affliction is a genuinely nasty tale of a man being driven slowly insane. Nolte is in fine form as a tortured cop, while Coburn, who won an Oscar for his performance, is fantastic as a domineering, alky bastard of a father figure.
Always believe in your soul. Affliction, eh? Nicholas Nolte was actually Oscar nominated for this role, but I found his veering between mumbling incoherence and frantic ranting a tad over-egged, to say the least. And as for the Walton-style John Boy voiceover from Defoe, which is really the voice of Schrader, somewhat mawkish and over-sentimental, to say the very least. But I suppose Schrader was trying to effect a degree of cinematic closure on these sad, lonely lives of quiet desperation from these burnt-out, shallow husks that are known as men. Affliction, it's out to rent now.
Oh, next up, Cinema of Transgression, which starts off with a short called Nymphomania, a silent black and white tale of a sprightly young nymph being brutally raped by Pan, which just lets you know that for the next couple of hours, you're not going to be in for an easy time of things, as the Cinema of Transgression takes you on a journey through the darker side of 80s American experimental filmmaking.
Yes. Well, what is it about these kind of people who constantly want to transcend all notions of taste and decency? particularly these whiny, post-punk, avant-garde, so-called New York angry artists who act out interminably dull, black and white, Bruegel-esque, Dali-esque orgies of S&M over excess. That are all shite, by the way.
Check out this piece of face. Hey, David. All right. Hey, piece of face. What's this movie's about?
Where evil dwells. Interminably boring black and white cut and paste death metal soundtrack supposedly pointing up the alienation endemic in America's youth culture. They all wear black clothes, you see, because they have black thoughts that run through their black brains, pumping blood from their black, none more black hearts. We are the people your mother warned you about. Not! They'll leave all this behind them and get jobs in advertising and raise big-boned kids who become professional tennis players. You mark my bloody word. You watch out. You see it's the truth, that is. Your liquid sex.
With a running time of around 2.5 hours, this is a really lengthy watch, particularly as it's all dark, confrontational stuff. Some of the shorts are like watching music videos for German industrial rock bands, complete with extreme noises and imagery. The Cinema of Transgression is part of a BFI series, and it's available to buy now. Nige, come on, we're going!